missing. Calzaghe just goes missing. Showing out now. His confidence is growing by the round.
Well, that is a brilliant 3 minutes boxing from Joe Calzaghe.
Looping the right hand every time. Okay. When you're inside like that, give him a little push. Give him a little push. Get him off balance and punch.
Jeff Lacy can quite believe what's going on in there. He's finding no way of getting to Calzaghe after that right hand early on.
You're just trying to bomb everything.
He looks bemused.
Come on, you gave away the first three. You cannot keep that pace.
He cannot keep that pace, says Dan Birmingham.
Come on, Jeff.
Well, we will see.
Straight right hands. And drop them down a little bit.
Your jab is starting to get weaker. Your jab is starting to get weaker, right? Get a big jab. Tight jab, right? Don't come. Keep it long. Keep it long.
A brilliant opening to this fight from Joe Calzaghe. Look at the hand speed and the mobility. If that's the performance of a waning fighter, it certainly doesn't look like it so far, but can he keep it up?
Yes, he can, John. We've seen this from Calzaghe before, and yes, he can keep this pace up. Lacy looking a little bit sorry for himself in his corner there. The corner just starting to get a little bit anxious now.
Enzo Calzaghe saying use the jab as Lacy tries to tee off an uppercut. He said to Calzaghe, box your way in, don't just get dragged into the tear-up. Well, Calzaghe almost showboating there, shows him the right hand and then landed a peach of a straight left. Calzaghe coming under attack himself.
Yeah, this is where Lacy wants it. He just wants to apply pressure on Calzaghe. You know, he's hoping that the pace will drop where he can land these big overhand rights and the famous left hook.
I assume you scored the first 3 rounds to Calzaghe, Duke?
I've given Calzaghe everything. And I'm not being biased. I just see Calzaghe outworking Lacy completely. Lacy's cut.
Lacy's cut around the right eye, and it doesn't look good. That's going to be a lot of work for the corner between rounds. Well, it looks as though it's that damaged left eye. He had scar tissue there, and it looks as though it's opened up again, and they're going to have a look at it, I think. Are they? He's saying it's a clash of heads, is Lacy. It goes to the end of the 4th round, it goes to scorecards. This one is the 4th round. If it were to be stopped, if the referee says that it's an accidental clash of heads that's caused it, but no suggestion that the referee is saying that to this point. And there's an air of desperation about the work of Jeff Lacy. He knows that he's cut, he may not have been hurt, at least not hurt badly, but the fight is going against him because Calzaghe is giving him a boxing lesson.
Well, there was scar tissue coming into on his left eye coming into this fight, and the cut's opened up, I think, on the right eye. I'm not exactly sure.
It is the right eye, Duke.
Yeah, the right eye. But Calzaghe's actually doing a number on him. He's boxing such an intelligent fight. You know, Lacy looks just a little bit desperate, a little bit clumsy. Doesn't have the same footwork as Calzaghe. Doesn't have the hand speed of Calzaghe.
Nigel Benn said this week that if Calzaghe had been around in his era, the era of Chris Eubank, of Steve Collins, of Michael Watson, he could have stood the test with all of them. Clash of heads inside there. Lacy came boring in low, but he took a load of punches from Calzaghe as well, flurries of shots. And Lacy, for all his attempts to force the fight here, has not landed really one clean shot, for my way of looking at it, on Calzaghe in this round.
Yeah, there's been nothing of real any significance landed by Lacy. Sure, he's forcing the fight, but Calzaghe's just totally dominating and outworking him.
Closing stage from the 4th, and it's another Calzaghe round, and look at this! Terrific work from Calzaghe. Well, there's the cuts, and it's a bad one over the left eye, and I think the right eye is damaged as well. His face is a mess, and it's not, I don't think, clashes of heads that's done that. It's been the accuracy, the precision and sheer brilliance of Calzaghe's punching. They've got to do something to stop that. That is a mess. They don't appear to be doing anything with that cut.
Close your eyes.
Go, Jeff. Jeff, jab right hand. You got to get off first. You're waiting.
All right.
You're waiting, Jeff. Jab right hand and let him go.
Bad damage to the eyes of Jeff Lacy. And what a spectacular onslaught from Calzaghe. There was a clash of heads there, but that's not damaged the eye, that's hit him low. It's not that clash of heads which has caused the damage. Not to my way of looking at it. And they're very slow to get out of the corner there. Deep cuts on Lacy's face. Fight should be underway. And the cornermen in the Lacy camp very slow to get out. And Calzaghe may be on his way now towards victory. Surely, he's won all 4 rounds, but he can't get careless. Lacy still has that power.
Lacy really needs to get at the races now and try and, assert himself in this fight, because he's in danger now of not only being stopped, but probably be on cuts, but he's being outworked and outboxed by Calzaghe.
Desperation from Lacy as he comes forward, trying to wing those trademark hooks. Catches Calzaghe with one there, but so far the overhand right, which is the real danger punch, hasn't been in evidence. Calzaghe's kept him away, and another lovely flurry of punches from Calzaghe.
Right now, Lacy doesn't appear to have an answer to the southpaw style. It's causing him all kinds of problems because he's catching everything on the way in. There's no lateral movement from Lacy, and this is probably one of his biggest downfalls. Sure, he's got the power, sure he's got the skill, sure he's got the arsenal, but he doesn't have the lateral movement to get out of the way of what's coming back at him.
Although he wouldn't say as much, I always got the impression there was just a hint of jealousy and maybe even a tad of resentment in Joe Calzaghe about the lack of recognition for his achievements and the fantastic support up here in Manchester for Ricky Hatton. Well, here tonight he's proved himself to be a fighter of the very top draw so far, and Ricky Hatton, who's in this crowd, I'm sure is watching on with a great deal of admiration.
Lacy's punches are very predictable, and Calzaghe can read them really easily at this point. But he's found lovely combinations, and Lacy's face is a mess.
This last 12 rounds, goodness knows what sort of state Lacy's face is going to be in by the end of it. Already in the 5th round, he looks as though he has had an absolute pounding, and another straight left thuds him towards those damaged eyes.
Lacy's really struggling with this one, I promise you. Not only from the cuts, but he just can't work out this style. He can't get his punches off. And Calzaghe's giving him another boxing lesson.
He's had his ears boxed off. Lacy said, southpaw style doesn't matter one jot to me. I've had goodness knows how many rounds sparring with winky rights, but so far he's had no answer to this. Calzaghe bullies Lacy back across the ring. The referee says don't do that, but it's not a tea party.
Lacy's just ploughing forward, but he's not throwing anything. He's like a catcher at the minute. He's like a catcher's mitt. He's just catching everything that Calzaghe's throwing. He can't keep his combinations going. He can't match Calzaghe for hand speed or work rate.
Calzaghe's contemptuously now dropping his gloves, almost inviting Lacy in. Well, the rout continues. All Calzaghe, and that, oh dear me, that face is just a mess. That is a mess. And look at the eyes of Jeff Lacy. I thought at the press conference on Thursday, behind that grim, threatening demeanour lurks genuine tension, if not fear, of what might be coming. Now he knows his worst nightmares are coming.
Okay, a little bit lower. Come on,
Close your eyes.
when you hold him,
Lacy has been on the receiving end of a non-stop pounding in this fight. 5 rounds out of 5 to Joe Calzaghe, and the Welshman so far is having things his own way and is boxing quite superbly.
You know, they're waiting for the pace to drop, but he's going to be waiting all night because Calzaghe can do this all night long. But he mustn't get overconfident. He has to stick with his game plan, hit and not get hit. Tie Lacy up, spin off, and just go missing and keep feeding in this stream of accurate, brilliant, quite brilliant combinations.
Get your head up, Jeff.
sure in the corner Enzo Calzaghe will have been drumming in the instruction, keep working off the jab, try and keep it at range. There it goes, rocking back the head of Lacy.
See, it's okay for Lacy to, you know, get fed a string of guys that he can just stand in front of him, and you know, they're almost fearful because once they get in front of him, they see this muscle man in front of them, and then they end up getting knocked out. But Calzaghe won't stand for anything like that.
Calzaghe's never had the respect he should have had in the United States through no fault of his own. He didn't get the contests against the likes of Roy Jones and Jamal Hopkins, and look at that
Quality.
There must have been about a 7 or 8 punch flurry of blows there, aimed by Calzaghe, and I think just about every one of them hit. Another good left hand, and Lacy is starting to look bemused, befuddled, and utterly on his way towards defeat.
He's coming apart at the seams, John. What a beautiful combination we got there from Calzaghe. Controlled, pinpoint, accurate punches. 4, 5, 6, 7 punches, all hit on the mark, on the button. Lacy looks really sorry for himself, and he's getting more and more banged up in now.
It's not only Lacy who looks sorry for himself. Gary Shaw, his promoter on the far side of the ring, looks one of the most shell-shocked men I've seen in a long time. Shelley Finkel, one-time manager of Mike Tyson, isn't exactly putting out the bunting either. There's the right hand though, that's the danger shot.
Or head spinning dangerously close there from both boxers.
There was a right hand over the top from Lacy, which did get in.
Yeah, Calzaghe felt that, but he's still winning the round.
Flooding right hand. I wonder how much more of this Lacy can take.
Yeah, he's going to be tired, isn't he? Let's get it right. He's thrown a hell of a lot of punches, and, you know, but Lacy's not capitalised on this.
Only one punch though, Duke. It can still turn around. Don't count chickens. Calzaghe is boxing superbly, he's winning the fight, but Lacy is still in there. Blood now seeping from his lower lip. Oh, headshots. Those are the slaps, and he slaps hard.
Where's the water? Where's the water? It's all over. Come on. Here we go. Listen. You want it? It's gone.
Joe Calzaghe, relaxed and confident.
You're sickening him now, Joe.
Absolutely on his game, isn't he? Look at that superb flurry of punches. I said 7 or 8, there might have been 9 or 10.
There was 10 unanswered shots. 9 out of the 10 hit the target. What a fantastic boxing we've got from Joe Calzaghe.
Marvin Hagler said he deserves to be ranked in the best 6 in the world, pound for pound. Jeff Lacy was supposed to be the coming star. Doesn't look like one there.
Close your hand.
It's been all Joe Calzaghe as we move into the second half of the fight.
Yeah, I've got Calzaghe winning everything. I think he's absolutely boxed rings round Lacy. He's absolutely given him a boxing lesson.
Calzaghe, in case I needed to remind you, of course, the taller man in the black and white shorts. Lacy, the man who's been battered from pillar to post for 18 minutes. Blood flying across our commentary position. Maybe coming from the eye of Jeff Lacy, no doubt.
This is all typical Calzaghe right now, is what you're getting. You know, we're so used to seeing him fight like this.
What a good straight right-hand lead he had in there. Now here comes Lacy, desperately trying to come in and wing hooks. There's his girlfriend Jennifer in the corner, trying to urge her man forward. But Calzaghe doesn't box his way out of it. He tries to get into a trading session.
And Calzaghe's obviously learned from his mistakes, because when he starts his combination, he keeps his chin down. When he's been hurt or he gets backed up, he keeps his chin down as he starts to throw his shots. Look where his chin is, right in his chest. He doesn't want to leave it hanging out to dry. He's boxing a great fight.
Lacy did get in with a left uppercut, as you were saying that, Duke. Just got in close. Calzaghe takes it well, though. Been down in a couple of fights recently against Byron Mitchell, Kabari Salem. That was an untidy fight, but Calzaghe was right in the middle of a messy divorce at that time, and thankfully for him, that's behind him now.
Joe took a right hand there off Lacy.